Okay, one candidate who consistently does well in straw polls held at this type of conservative event is Congressman Ron Paul, and he's joining us now live from the Values Voters Summit. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Nice to be with you.
Nice to have you on board again. The nation's unemployment numbers remain very high at 9%, and this week the president took Republicans in Congress took aim at them for blocking his efforts to pass what he calls his jobs bill. He says if it doesn't pass, we could end up with double-dip recession. Is that hyped-up threats, or is it true?
Well, it's not true. I don't think we've got out of the recession. I think we have a continuous recession. It's turning into a depression, and I don't think it will do any good because until we recognize how we have financial bubbles and why they must burst and why we have to have a correction, we can't solve our problem. And that deals with the monetary system and the spending and the huge amount of debt. Unless you liquidate debt and malinvestment, you can't have economic growth again. And so far, I haven't heard any serious proposal other than coming from our campaign on how you should and proceed with the liquidation of debt so we can get back to economic growth.
Well, are there parts of the president's bill that you can support?
Well, I haven't looked at it in every single detail, but it looks like what he wants to do is spend money. My problem is that our problem is debt. If a family is deeply in debt, you don't tell them to spend more money, and all of a sudden things are going to be okay. What we're doing right now is the free market is challenging the Keynesian model on economic policy. Keynesians say that we're in a recession because the people won't spend their money. But they don't have jobs, they don't have any money, and they're deeply in debt. This whole idea that if the government just prints money and passes it out, and people are going to spend more money, it's a flawed philosophy. And therefore, until we recognize this, we can't expect recovery. We have to not deal with a debt problem with accumulation of more debt and more inflation.
You know, we've been reporting at the top of our show, as you just heard, about the fighting that's going on between the two perceived frontrunners in this race over Mitt Romney's faith. As a Christian, do you think Mormon is part of a cult, as high-profile Keith Perry supporter Pastor Jeffers put it?
No, no way.
What do you think of the remarks that were made?
Well, yeah, I just disagree with them, and I don't know why people make remarks like that. It just looks like they don't want to deal in philosophy, and they want to deal with words and trying to be negative in the way they make these charges. So I think it's unnecessary, since I don't believe it's true. I think we should be talking about unemployment. I think we should be talking about our foreign policy. I think we should be talking about our Federal Reserve System and dealing with the issues that government are supposed to be dealing with. I mean, this whole idea that the most important thing between two candidates right now is the definition of cult and trying to make it sound negative to one for one person to get the edge over another. I think that, and they are encouraged, of course, by others to keep this thing going, but I don't think that's the issue of the day. I think liberty is the issue of the day, our Constitution is the issue of the day, and too much government. That is the issue of the day. It's not the definition of a cult.
You know, you've been doing well in straw polls in the past. Where do you expect to come out in the Value Voters straw poll this weekend?
I expect to do well, but I have no idea. I don't do head counts. All I do is deliver a message that I've been delivering for 35 years, and I was very pleased that it was well received today. So I felt good. A lot of times I'm very, very critical of myself because I see my flaws, but today I actually felt pretty good about the reception that I got.
Let me ask you real quickly. You say you see your flaws. What flaws are those?
Well, I mean, I look at what I do and I say, well, I could have said that better. You know, just the things where you can improve oneself. So I'm always trying to improve. I don't have much change in my message at all. I've always tried to improve. So if I look at myself, I think, you know, I could have said that a little bit better and make that point. Maybe I forgot to make a point. So I don't, you know, walk off the stage generally and say, hey, you know, I'm the greatest speaker in the world. I don't do that. I'm always looking for how I can do better.